Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, who's been, in the Senate forever, basically. He's run for president a couple of times. He sometimes kind of gets it as a conservative, as a Republican, then sometimes doesn't get it. He's back to the doesn't get it part. As you know, Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer is stepping down. We covered that last week, and Joe Biden has said that he's going to have a black woman replace her because, of course, that's what we care about most here in the United States. Here's Joe himself.
The person I will nominate will be someone with extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity. And that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court. It's long overdue in my view.
So Joe wants a black woman replacing Stephen Breyer, who happens to be a white man. Now, I don't believe that a Supreme Court seat is owned by any one person. I certainly don't believe it's owned by anyone's skin color or gender. But ironically, saying that you're going to give a job to someone based on the color of their skin and by their gender is actually against the Civil Rights Act of 1963. 63 or 64. I always get that. Civil Rights Act. Is it 63 or 64? Give me a number on that. So already we're doing something very bad here. Now, how do I link this to Lindsey Graham? Well, you'd think that every sane conservative or just sort of every sane freedom-loving person would be against this idea that we would be injecting race into who we hire, into who gets confirmed as a Supreme Court justice. The Civil Rights Act, 1964. I will lock that in the brain going forward. But Lindsey Graham, no, he's completely fine with Biden's idea here, the idea that we're going to have just a black woman be the next.
And President Reagan said, running for office, that he wanted to put the first female on the court. Whether you like it or not, Joe Biden said, I'm going to pick an African-American woman to serve on the Supreme Court. I believe there are plenty of qualified African-American women, conservative and liberal, that could go onto the court. So I don't see Michelle Childs as an act of affirmative action. I do see putting a black woman on the court, making the court more like America. In the history of our country, we've only had 5 women serve and 2 African-American men.
Man, sorry, Lindsey Graham, you're exactly the type of politician that we don't need anymore. You really are. We don't need that pandering drivel. Nobody is saying that there aren't thousands, literally, probably hundreds of thousands of qualified black women to sit on the Supreme Court. Great legal minds, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody's saying that. Everyone knows that that is. But as a marker, as the original starting point, that here is the pool that I will select from. We have a giant pool, but my pool will just be black women. It's not that you're not going to pick the best person, because the best person might be a black woman. But first, it's against the law. It's against the law to hire based on skin color and gender. That's number one. A law, by the way, that had a little something to do with the Supreme Court in the first place. But also this pandering drivel, that's why you're becoming irrelevant, Lindsey Graham. This pandering drivel that it will be a black woman. Well, why not a Native American woman? Why not an Indian woman? I mean, Indian from India woman. Why not an Asian woman? Are there any Chinese American Supreme Court justices, Korean Supreme Court justices? But no, why do we keep going to that group of people? Could it be because we're the ones that actually want to basically bribe them? We want to endlessly bribe them so that they'll keep voting for us, because otherwise none of our policies actually work for them. And Lindsey Graham, you're now part of it. You're part of it. So this is neo-racism. There is no one, and this is one of the things, to get to the previous segment, that I would want Bill Maher to come around to. There is no one on the right, in mainstream on the right, who wants anyone judged by the color of their skin. That isn't to say that there aren't some far-right racists somewhere. There are. But there is no one mainstream. There is no thought leader. There is no politician that wants people treated differently based on the color of their skin, their gender, and at this point, even their sexuality. But it is a mainstream idea on the left. It is within the ethos of the Democratic Party, and I wish Bill Maher luck fixing that, because he's going against Joe Biden, and he's going basically against Republican light, but I would say at this point, basically Democrat Lindsey Graham as well.